Shalom, family. I want to talk about this thing a little bit. Do you think that there's a curse on California? Is California under a curse, reaping what they have sown? I'm going to tell you what I think, and some things we kind of got to look at. We have to judge what we see. Let me ask you this question, right? Let's say that California wasn't a place. Or let's say it was a person's place. Okay, and his name was California. Okay? And let's say this person had 10 acres of land. And let's say that you knew this person and you could see him from afar off, this person named California and his 10 acres. And each and every time you look around over the past 30 years, you hear of some strange things happening to this person's 10 acres. Each time you look around, it's getting caught on fire and burning up. Each time you look around, this is happening, that's happening. And you see this thing on a regular basis, and then it doesn't seem to get better. What would you think about that person? What if this person was to invite you and say, hey, come and set up a cabin on my land? Come and have fellowship with me. Come and break bread with me. You get where I'm coming from? If this was a person and this was his scenario was similar to this, would you go? You understand? Now, don't misunderstand me, everyone. I know that there are people that are probably watching this broadcast right now that live in California, and that's true. The whole country is cursed. But the whole country isn't experiencing the wrath of a curse. Okay, there are some very peaceful areas in this country that a person can go and live. Okay, so don't misunderstand me. I'm simply saying that if you look at the things that are going on there, it's obvious to me that something is going on. To me, it's obvious. There's no way to hide it. Okay. Now, I brought this up because of a couple of articles that I ran across in the news recently that just had me say, man, this is crazy, you know. This article here says, Southern California braces for more fire weather as Maria fire torches over 9,000 acres. Okay. It also says, we're not out of the woods yet. We still have 24 hours of critical fire weather ahead of us, one fire official said. And basically, the article goes on and talks about how Southern California braces for more fire weather Saturday as region faces ongoing low humidity and tender, dry vegetation. Okay. 9,000 acres is a lot of acres to be burning. You know, it's a lot of acres. And this is something that have continually happened. Like I did a video before where the whole world is on fire. Actually, the whole world is burning up, right? But I focused on California because I had a chance to really think about things. I said, man, this is really strange that it keeps going on like that in California, just constantly, you know. And I just thought it was just strange. And so I want to share something with you. I want you to think about what I'm talking about here, and how California. We're going to look at the history of California, of their weather, and some of the things that have happened over the past I want to say 20 years. No, 40 years. Past 40 years. And we're going to look at some of the things that California is known for. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Just bear with me one moment here. Okay, yeah, exactly. Somebody says, don't forget the toxic water and gas fumes from Japan nuclear plant. Exactly. It's a lot of stuff. And this person said California have a lot of sins. Yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to talk about that, okay? And like I said, I believe that California is literally reaping some of the things that they've sown. And if they are truly doing this, if this is what's happening, then, man, you got to know it's going to get worse. Because they are responsible for a lot of things, okay? And we're going to cover that, okay? Now, let's look at some of California's history of their disasters over the past, some of the things that have happened to them over the past 40 years, okay? Now, I got some statistics here that talks about it. It is California had a 6-year drought at the end of the 1980s. From 2011 to 2017, it suffered through another multi-year drought. The time period from 2011 to 2014 was the driest since record keeping began. Are you hearing me? It says the drought killed tens of millions of trees and depleted water reserves across the state. It finally ended in 2017, and Northern California had the wettest winter in 100 years. But then massive floods caused $1 billion in damage to the road network alone. Are you hearing this, right? Then it says, meanwhile, California debt crisis has worsened. The state is more than $150 billion in debt, the worst of any state in the United States. Are you hearing me, right? A detailed study of 2015 data concluded that the state and local governments owe a total of $1.3 trillion. Other estimates are actually higher. Now, I hope I got your attention with this, right? So, this is some of the stuff that have happened to California over the last few years. Now, we know about the fires. You know, you get the different fires that's been going on all over California, and we know California is known for earthquakes, and so you sit back and you say to yourself, man, something is definitely going on here, because you got to know Yah's behind all of the natural disasters, all these things that happen when they come, right? You got to know it. There's just no way around it, right? Well, let's look at California, right? We know that Hollywood is in California. I want you to think about that for a minute. Hollywood. Hollywood is responsible for producing movies. So many movies, and some of these movies are filled with so much filthiness, lies, hypocrisy, all types of stuff. Hollywood has created so many movies, right? And have pushed lust and all kinds of homosexuality in the movies. I'll never forget, I went to a relative's house years ago, and this particular scene, they were watching a soap opera. And I noticed, I said, whoa, wait a minute, I'm looking at the soap opera. I just sat down for a minute, was talking to him. And in the soap opera, they showed two men started kissing in this soap opera. I was like, whoa, what is that? And they were like, yeah, they showing that stuff common now in the soap operas and stuff. I said, well, man, I couldn't watch that stuff. I ain't sit up and watch this. I had to get out of the room. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is the kind of stuff that goes on, in Hollywood. They're pushing all of this stuff, right? all of the gay agenda and all of this stuff, they're pushing it heavy in Hollywood. And when you look at all the movies and all the lust and stuff they put in their movies, you can't even, let me tell you something. I can't even sit down with my children and say, hey, let's watch a movie, a simple movie. It could be any simple movie. Like there was this movie, I saw the previews, and previews looked like it was kind of interesting. I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. But it had something to do with some aliens coming to Earth, and these teenagers were fighting against these aliens, you know. And in the movie, they had these kids say some stuff that was so filthy and nasty until it was ridiculous. And I could let my kids watch that movie. I said, y'all can't watch this. There's too much filthy stuff in it. But the movie is rated PG-13. But this is the kind of stuff they're putting in the movies, right? It's ridiculously horrible, you know? But this is what California is known for. This is what Hollywood is known for, right? Now, watch this. San Francisco. I'm going to ask you, what is San Francisco known for? I want you to tell me. What is San Francisco known for? Think about that. Yep. Did you not know, to this day, San Francisco is the gay capital of the United States, ranking at around number 9 for the gay capital in the world? San Francisco. Now you know how y'all feels about that. And not to mention, you got Silicon Valley there. You got all of these other things, industries that are going on there in California. And so I just got to tell you, when I see all of this stuff going on in California, and those of you that can't escape California, I get it. I understand, because when Yah pours his judgment on this entire world, a lot of us ain't going to be able to up and run and go here and go there. Yah going to have to give us great wings of an eagle to fly up out of it, or we're going to have to flee to it, or y'all gonna have to make another escape some other kind of way, or we're gonna have to do just like he said in the scripture, until his indignation pass, go in your house, close your door, and wait until it goes by you. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we're in. So I understand for those of you that are stuck there in California, you can't get out of California. I understand it, because it's hard to just up and move. I know that. I know that for a fact. It's hard to just do that, you know. But I'm going to tell you, when I look and I see what's going on there in California with all of the fires and stuff that's going on, I'm telling you, it's obvious that California is under a curse, and that California is reaping what they have sown. You can't stir the wind and not reap the tempest. There's just no way, right? And you got to know, Hollywood and San Francisco and some of the other cities there in California have stirred the wind. And now they're going to reap the tempest. They're going to reap the whirlwind. Okay? You can't stir a match, strike a match, and not expect it to flame up. You know? You can't play with gasoline. That's just... It's just no way around it, right? California is guilty of a lot of these things, you see. And so, this is the scriptures. You know, this is the scriptures. I can't get around it. Looking at the things that are going on, the scripture tells you, whatsoever man soweth, that shall he reap. Okay? So, you can't sow all this wicked stuff. And you know, if Yah felt that way about Sodom and Gomorrah, let me tell you something. The only reason why San Francisco is still around is because there are probably some of y'all's people there in San Francisco. And y'all said, I can't destroy the righteous with the wicked. But I guarantee you that if that wasn't the case, then a lot of these states, a lot of these cities would be going up in flames. literally going up in flames. And so I'm not going to keep you long tonight. I just want to go over some of this with you. Um, this it is what it is. I mean, there's no way around it. I'm just keeping it real. You couldn't pay me to go to California. I'm just keeping it real. I wouldn't go there because I see what's going on there. I mean, I see what's going on, and man, it's crazy. I've even heard people talk about how they could smell the smoke in the air from where they live. They could even actually see fire in the distance. That got to be scary. Knowing that, man, this thing is the wind, and all it takes is the wind. Who controls the wind? Yah does. Yah can stir that wind up, and that fire will take off even more. And so, I'm just keeping it real. Right now, I'm to the point where I only want to go where Yah wants me to go. That's where I want to go, where He wants me to go. I'm done with looking over here and say, yeah, that looks like a nice place, and then you get over there and all hell breaks loose when you get there. I'm done with that. I've learned to just be still until Yah tell me go here, till He tell me to go there, because it's that bad, in this world today. I know a lot of us out there, we get to the point where you got to move. And I understand some of you may be seeking a place to move. I get it. Some of you may be saying, hey, I need to move to another location. I need to go here. I'm trying to find me a new place to go, All I'm saying is be careful. It may look good. Okay, there's some areas that look good. But I'm telling you right now, you better seek Yah. You better know it's His will for you to go there. You better know it. You better know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. It reminds me of this happened in the news a few years ago, and I don't know if we covered it or not, but it's such a sad story where these two brothers, two black brothers, decided to buy some land, and they brought this land, and the land had a barn on it, and so they went over to the barn to check out the barn, and a Caucasian neighbor, old fella, saw them, came over, and killed them both right there. Shot and killed these two black brothers. They were brothers. And they were on their own land, viewing their own barn, but the nosy neighbor saw these two black guys come up on there and went over to that barn, and he couldn't resist himself. Went over there and shot them both dead. Now here they were trying to live their dream. I want to buy some land. Here's some land here, got a nice barn on it. They couldn't even live their dream. They got shot dead. Ended up buying the nice land and everything, and somebody had to kill them. Just because they were walking on the land. No questions, no nothing, just pow, pow. Boy, I tell you. That's why you got to be careful. That's why you got to know what Yah's will is. You got to know, because Yah will warn you. He will tell you, no, don't you buy that land. No, don't you go there. He'll frustrate you. I'm telling you, He will frustrate you. If He don't want you to go somewhere, trust me, you won't go there. I'll never forget when we were trying to go to this one place a couple of years ago. We were looking for this one. I want to buy a tractor part. And I remember, I told you, some of you know the story. I got the video. It's on YouTube here. And we couldn't find this place. I had maps. We had did a map quest, and we were trying to find this place, and we couldn't find this city for nothing in the world. We were like going in this crazy circle. And then finally I pulled over to a gas station. I mean, it was ridiculous. We must have wasted an hour trying to find the city. We were right in the area, but somehow we just kept getting thrown off. And so it was just strangely, I was like, man, something ain't right about this. I want to get this tractor part, but something ain't right. So I stopped and asked the gentleman, and this was a Caucasian. He was a truck driver that's delivering pop and stuff like that for the gas station. And so I saw him loading the freezer, and I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "You probably know this area." I said, "I'm trying to find this city here." When I told him his name of the city, he said, "Oh yeah, yeah. All you gotta do is go out here, get on this road here, and go this way, and then head over that way, and there it is, right there, right?" And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm not seeing that on the map. I'm like getting confused about it, right?" So he said, "Yeah, yeah." But then he said to us, "Just when you drive through there," he said, "drive slow, because those officers there will pull you over in a minute." He said, "They don't play through there." He said, "They don't play at all through there." Now, this Caucasian telling me this. I was like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks for telling me like that, So I went out to the car, told my wife, yeah, this guy told me what to do and all this. So I'm about to pull off. We sitting there looking at the direction where we're going to go, and a black guy saw me over, and he waved me over and said, hey, come here a minute, So I said, let me see what he's talking about. So I got out, went over there, and he said, "Hey, I heard you talking to the guy in the gas station about you trying to get over to such and such." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, that's Klan country, man. They's Klan and they're heavy, man. Don't go down there." I was like, whoa, And it really just, I said, man. But Yah had us so confused where we couldn't even find the place. I mean, we obviously went in a circle like 2 or 3 times and wasted an hour trying to find a city, and we had a map there. A map, and I'm good at reading maps, but that thing was so scrambled. And so all I'm telling you is, if you're seeking Yah and you praying and you're his, just look for it. Now, I could have forced the issue and said, we're going to go down there anyway. But Yah was giving me warning signs, right? And sometimes he give us warning signs when we're trying to do something and we want to do it anyway. He still tells us, no, don't do that. Don't go there. Stop a minute. Wait a minute. Be still. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to be still. We just busy. No, I got to go. I got to do this here. Where you going? I'm going out down here. I'm going to move over here. Well, or did you check with Yah about that? No, I ain't getting no answer from him. I'm going to just go anyway. I'm telling you, that ain't the way to live with Yah. Yah don't play that. I'm serious. He does not play that. You better make sure that you're in his will wherever you move, wherever you do. Make sure you're in his will, because he don't play. You don't want to march out in the one direction and next thing you know, you in worse scenario than you were before you left. You don't want to get into that, right? Okay? So I want you to be mindful of that. Be mindful of Yah's will and seeking him and knowing what his will is, and don't make moves and go in the directions. And those of you, like I've said, there's some of you that are in California. And what if Yah do make a way for you to move? Well, if he do make a way for you to move, you still better seek him. You want to come out of California and move into somewhere else, you may go through a worse thing than you ever went through than what you went through in California. So you gotta know what direction to go in. Don't just assume, oh, I got the money, let me just go where I want. No. You better seek Yah, understand? But anyway, those of you that are there in California that can't make it out, you stuck there, hey, my prayers go out to you, and I pray that Yah will make a way for you and keep you in that situation that you're in California, because it's obvious that California is being judged. It's obvious, it's obvious. And so you just hang in there, seek Yah. Maybe Yah will show you what direction to go in. And like somebody said, we're not racist in California. Oh, there's some racists there. There's some stuff going on there too. I mean, this whole country is racist. I'm just keeping it real. It's hard to go anywhere in the United States and not experience racism. That's any and everywhere. You're going to experience that, But anyway, I hope this message got some of your eyes open, and that you will seek Yah as to what to do and where to go, and that he keep you. If you have to stay there, It may be His will for you to stay there. If you have to stay there, then you just make sure that that's His will, and you just keep still. Don't run out into the frying pan. Out of the fire into the frying, out of the frying pan into the fire. As they would say. I could take a moment and answer a couple of questions. Do we have any questions? Anybody have any questions? We love you all too, family. It's a blessing, to be able to come on here and fellowship with you all like this. It's a true blessing. I thank Yah for that. My day is going fine. I had a lot of work to do earlier today, but I ended up getting a lot of it done. Some of you may have saw the video. I was working on the goat houses, and we had to do some rerouting with their fences. We had to reroute them and tried to we got all that work done, so I was glad of that. Let's see what someone's saying here. Sage's Musical Prophets. The next one that'll be coming out will be about Michael Jackson, and it may be a while though, because that's going to be a heavy one to do, But we'll try to get it done in a timely manner, hopefully before. I would like to get it done in the next couple of months, so we'll see. I speak to y'all 24/7. Yeah, let me explain to you how your walk should be, and this is something I've learned to do coming up. Yah is my friend. He's not just my father; he's my friend. So I'm always talking in my head when I have time to. When I'm around, if I'm working on something, I may be saying, "Yeah, Father, yeah," just sit while I'm working. I'm always in my mind speaking to Him, because I've just learned to do that over the years, and it helps me get through my day. It helps me to get. Look at all the stuff going around in the world, all the stuff we see on a regular basis, and so when I'm off working to myself and I'm sitting back doing this and doing that, I'm always speaking. I could be reading something and say, "Well, Father, yeah, I don't understand that," and I may be just talking to myself, like talking to Yah, should I say, within myself like that. So, yes, absolutely. If you can do that, just take time out. Just know that He hears you, right? And since He hears you, start talking. What do you want to say to Him? Just start talking. Well, first of all, if you're seeking a place to move and you don't know where to go and you're just seeking, what you basically have to do is you have to get close to him and you have to say, okay, I'm seeking a place, Father. And now what you do is you start out your seek, right? So you may look at a place here and here and there, and you may look at a place in various states, right? But as you're looking in these places, in these states, you try to make sure everything is lining up with what you're looking for, right? And at the same time, you're seeking and you say, Father, yeah, give me a sign. If there's a reason why I shouldn't move here, then you give me a sign. Now, you remember when we did the movie, the video about moving, when we announced that we had moved. Well, if you remember in the video, we talked about all the different states that we had considered moving to, and all the different homes and things that we saw. Well, Yah was giving us each and every time we would get to the point where we say, okay, I think it's this one here. Yah will give us a warning and a sign to show us, nope, not that one. You hear me? And so every single time we knew, okay, nope, not that one. Nope, not this one here. Nope, not that one there. Nope, because he kept giving us these signs. He kept giving us warnings. I mean, weird things are happening. Like one particular thing happened in this one area where it was announced in the news that the military was doing a drill over this area. And I said, over the area we were talking about moving. And that sent a red flag up quickly. You know that, right? I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, me and my wife, we were like, wait a minute now. A military drill right over where we were talking about moving, you know. And then there's another issue that broke off about that too. You know, and this area was actually in Illinois, I think it was. And so we were like, no. And so everything got to line up. Now, there's a book that's called Strategic Relocation Guide. I like the book because it tells you the different things that's in each state. It tells you what level of corruption is in that state. It tells you how much water they get in that state every year. It just tells you how much rain, should I say, they get in the state, and it gives you a breakdown of all the things that's going on. It even tells you how many nuclear plants in the state, where they are, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's to help you know, okay, well, I don't know if I want to move to this particular state because I didn't know this was going on, I didn't know that was going on. And so it helped you prepare yourself, right? So we used that guide. We did look around, you know, based on that guide. And so that's what I recommend you do, you know, get that strategic guide and pray. Then just look for places where you think you would want to move, and keep your heart and your eyes open to the point to where Yah can reveal to you whether he wants you to go there or not. Because if he don't want you to go there, you have to say, well, Father, if this isn't the place for me to go, then reveal it to me. The book is called Strategic Relocation Guide. You can look it up on Amazon. Now, as far as Kodesh events, we're seeking Yah on when to do the next one. And so everything got to line up with this next one that we do. There's some things we need Yah to do for us in order to do this next Kodesh baptism event. So just pray for us. Ask the Most High to, you know, do the things that we need him to do. There's some things that we absolutely just need him to do for us to do another event. So we're just waiting to hear from him on these different things. So just pray for us. Yeah, it's just like an intuition. He speaks to you through your intuition. It's kind of like, it's hard to say. You begin to know what's Yah and what's you, okay? For a long time, for one while. See, let me explain something to you, okay? You spiritually. Okay, watch this. Okay. Now, you spiritually, if you're more carnal spiritually, okay, if you're carnal spiritually, more carnal spiritually, then that voice you hear a lot of times will be you speaking. And you'll think it's Yah, but it'll be you speaking because you're more carnal. The more spiritual you get, the more you're able to hear his voice and determine well and see the, and be able to determine whether it's his voice or your voice. The more spiritual you are, the more spiritual you become. And that's when I say spiritual, I'm not talking about just reading his word or whatever. I'm talking about having a spiritual, having your eyes enlightened so that you can see spiritual things. Some people just can't see spiritual things. You hear me? I'm telling you, some people just can't see it. This is why you have people still talking, even though the revelation has been come forth about a woman supposed to cover her head and that their head is her man. You still got men talking about that woman supposed to have her head covered because Paul said, cover your head. But yet, the spiritual aspect of that, Paul wasn't really talking about her literal head. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to have a spiritual mind to receive spiritual things of Yah in order to really hear him. The closer you get to him spiritually. Now, there are times when you're carnal, when you're young, because I know there were times when I first received the Ruach, right? And I would hear the Most High, even though I was a carnal young babe in Yah, there were times I would hear his voice and I would know his voice. It was just straight up like, boom, I know that's Yah, right? But then there are other times where I wasn't sure. I think that's Yah. I think he's telling me. I think he's showing me this. I think he's showing me that. And sometimes I wouldn't be sure. But there are sometimes he speaks so clear until I'm actually thinking somebody talking to me. You know, it would be just that clear. Like one day I was looking for something. I needed something. I didn't know where it was. It was a part to a fountain. I had this fountain I was trying to put together. And when we moved, 15 years ago when we had moved to this one area, that thing was lost in boxes that we still had stored away, and there's a ton of boxes, and I didn't know where to look. So I went out there and I looked. I saw all these boxes on shelves. I said, "There's no way I'm gonna find this today." I said, "Just no way. I got to look through all of these boxes," and I'm just talking to myself like this, right? And a voice fastened my eyes and said, "It's in that box right there." And I heard it. It was almost just as clear. I said, "Something just told me it's in that box right there." I went to open the box. It was in the box. That's like a needle in a haystack. He told me it's in the box, and it was right there. And so I've learned that there are times when the Most High speak to you straight up, you know. And I mean, there are times I'd be asleep and I hear him say, "Pray," just as loud as they startle me and wake me up. You know, there are times I hear knocking and I know he wants me to pray whenever I hear the knocking. It got to the point where it would kind of scare me because sometimes I'll have headphones on and I'll be sitting there sleep listening to the rain and headphones. And I mean, there are times I hear a knock. Look, that loud. And it was startling me. I'll wake up. And one time I woke up, I looked over my wife. I said, "Did you just hear a knock?" And she's like, "Uh-uh." I said, "You didn't just knock her?" She's like, "Uh-uh." And then I'll hear the word pray. And I said, "Oh, the Most High want me to pray." And so sometimes he does things to get your attention. You know, he may call you, he may touch you. Like a couple of times he would actually touch me. And I would feel his touch nudge on my shoulder, on my head, or just different things like that. I know those of you that haven't experienced this kind of stuff, and just keep seeking him. You will just get close to him. You'll experience a lot of these different things. But I know that you just got to get closer to him. Once you get close to him spiritually, and you just keep getting close to him spiritually, you'll be able to hear him clear. But I'm telling you, one thing you want to do is don't misunderstand the guidings of the Ruach, right? The scripture says the Ruach will lead and guide you in all truth, right? To the point where you won't even need a man. But then why does he use men? He does use people, right? So sometimes the Ruach, let me tell you what he does for me, okay? Sometimes he will give me a revelation, right? And I will see this revelation. I'll be like, wow, this thing is deep. Then what he would do is he would give me a confirmation. And the confirmation will come in such a way that I knew it was Yah confirming it. Okay? And so that's kind of like how he works, right? But guess what? All revelation must fit. Right? So if you get a revelation and that revelation got you cutting off half the Bible, then guess what? That's not Yah. That's not Yah. If that revelation got you throwing the New Testament away, then that's not Yah. It has to fit. It all has to fit together. You understand? If that New Testament got you getting rid of the Messiah, no, I don't believe in the Messiah no more, then that's not a right revelation. You understand? And so that's why you got to get spiritual. I've gotten emails from people. I just got an email from somebody who was talking about Paul's teachings. Okay, how they confused and they think that Paul was off. He was off on this, off on that, off on that. Okay. That's because you're more carnal than spiritual. Anyone that has received the Ruach HaKodesh and have the gifts of the Spirit, I guarantee you, any one of those people that have received the Ruach have the gifts of the Spirit, I bet you every last one of them that have experienced that will read Paul's writing and know that Yah was using that man when he wrote the letters that he did. There's no way you can have the Ruach and deny his letters. There's no way, because you got the same Ruach that he have. You have the same spirit. It's the set apart spirit because he had it. You see, and so even though you might not understand things, when you read certain scriptures, you know. And that's why I tell people, you got to get closer to Yah. You got to get spiritual. You got to get spiritual. I'm telling you that now. You got to get close to Yah to the point to where you are spiritually minded. You understand me? You got to get spiritually minded. There's no way. Let me tell you something. All I got to do is tell a person, you read Romans. The entire chapter of Romans, and you walk away and tell me you think Paul was a false apostle and that he was not of Yah, and you done read Romans from 1 through the end of the chapter, through the end of the book, then trust me, you don't have the Ruach, and you are not led of the Spirit. You're not filled with the Spirit. Can't be. I don't see how in the world you could have the Ruach and read that and denounce that Paul was out of his mind or that he was off. There's no way. So what I'm telling you is that, so if you don't understand some things in Paul's writings, it's because you are a babe. And you need to get close to Yah. You need to have your understanding enlightened. You need to get closer to him to where you understand these spiritual things. And then once you understand these spiritual things and he begin to give you revelations and he fill you with this Ruach and he give you spiritual enlightenment, then you'll be like, wow, I get it now. I understand it now. I see it now. You understand what I'm saying? You'll see it. You'll go through his writings. You'll say, man. And let me tell you something. And I do believe this here though. You got to understand this too, right? And this is why I have a documentary that it's another Whited Out we're going to be doing, but this one here is down the line. This is probably going to be a Whited Out 8. We already get Whited Out 7 in the making. We have a Whited Out 8 that we're going to be doing. I have Whited Out 9 and Whited Out 10. I mean, we got all this. And this Whited Out 8 is going to actually deal with the manuscripts and the early assemblies and what happened in the writings and how some of these things were interpreted by people who were not Yah's people. And some of these people, when they interpret the scriptures, had an agenda in mind. That's what White It Out 8 is going to be about. And so it's going to be pretty deep when we break that one. Okay? And so it's going to cover a lot of these questions. A lot of people, the reason why people are dropping the New Testament is because they reading these things. They read certain things in the New Testament. And then they, oh, no, that's off. I know that's off. So they throw the whole book out. Well, I could point out things that's off in the Old Testament. Oh, yeah. I could point out some things that's completely off in the Old Testament. Stories that completely contradict themselves in the Old Testament. Right? Now, I'm not going to go there right now, but I could show you that. And so what you going to do, throw out the whole Old Testament? But guess what? This is why you have some people that have completely left the scriptures altogether. I know of people that were in this walk strong, and they no longer believe in the Mashiach, no longer believe in the Old Testament, the Torah, or any of that. You hear me? Because they couldn't make sense of the leaven that they found. And they say the little leaven of the whole lump. So that's why you got to be led of the Ruach. But anyway, family, I love you. I pray that the Most High continue to keep you and continue to pray for us. Hallelujah. And we'll continue to pray for you all and pray that the Most High just continue to give you understanding. Understanding is the key. And all that get understanding. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Okay, I want you to hear this, right? Because this salvation that we have is valuable, don't be willing to just swallow anything you hear, even if it makes your flesh feel good. Okay? Don't be willing to just swallow it. Take your time, look at the scriptures, and say, wait a minute. Okay, well, Father God, this is what I'm seeing, but just show me, Father. I don't want to go down this road. If this is a wrong road of understanding, don't let me go down this road, Father God. If it's wrong, I'll tell you, this is how you got to pray. When I was coming out of Christianity, I was seeing things that were just taking me for a whole, it was literally crushing my Christian world. And I had to keep praying through the whole thing. Father God, if this ain't the road you don't want me to go down, then don't let me go down this road, Father God. But if this is the road, then help me to go down this road then, because I'm a little nervous. I never saw some of this stuff before. And so I had to keep praying for our Father to keep showing me, right? I had to keep praying. And all I'm saying to you all is just don't be quick to swallow doctrines and teachings. Don't be quick to make sure everything fits together. Make sure it fits. Because what's going to happen when you get down the line, I don't know if any of you ever fixed a puzzle before, right? Some pieces just don't fit. And if you put the wrong piece in its place, when you get down the line, you're going to be pulling up a lot of pieces. It ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work. Oh, man, this ain't working. I got to undo this, undo that, undo this over here, undo that. You just got to take your time and seek Yah. Okay? Well, on that note, family, I want you to get you some rest tonight and be at peace. Hallelujah. Have shalom tonight. Shalom, family. Love you.
Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.